Good evening, Adam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So you just reminded me, yes, the sponsors, presenting sponsors. Yes, I need to redo the videos. So yeah, we have presenting sponsors, it.com. Officially, I can announce and
Very cool.
fabulous company, impressive, and they are buying domains as well for premium prices, not going cheap, and yes, they are buying the stuff they like. It seems my video is frozen. Yes, let me
A little
quickly.
bit, but at least you're smiling.
Thank you. I'll be back in a second.
No problem. I can sing while you're gone.
Okay, we are listening.
No, I can't sing. I have no musical or artistic talents whatsoever. So we'll wait for Helmuts to return. Hello, everybody. Live stream.
Okay, yes. My apologies. We are back. Yes.
No worries.
So, May 31st. How has
Yeah.
it
been? It's interesting. The month kind of flew by. I find it hard to believe we're in June, except for the temperature here is about 30 degrees Celsius. So it went from, cold to medium to this week it's really hot. And in the public schools here, we don't have AC except in the high schools. So my son and my wife are in schools now where there's no AC, so they're boiling.
30 degrees. Is that normal for this type for this time of the year?
It's
Canada.
probably a little bit higher, like it normally be about 23, 22,
Yes.
23, but it's going to stay hot now till probably mid-September. So it's a good time to
Wow.
visit.
I would never expect that in May or end of the May, the temperature in Toronto would be 30 degrees.
Yeah, it's very warm. Yesterday was warm too, but
That is not warm anymore.
well, sometimes some people it gets to I was in Phoenix, it was almost 40 a couple times, so I really know what warm is. It's hot. Anyway.
So few new interesting things about the Domain Name Summit. We have just confirmed that we have some budget for the party.
Yeah, excellent.
On the first day. So after the first day, attendees will be able to get invitations. They'll be given one-to-one to come for a party. So we are now looking into nearby nightclubs and stuff like that, and then there will be some networking drinks, some welcome drinks, and then we'll see how it goes.
Sounds like fun.
Hopefully it will be. Have you bought your tickets already?
So I told my wife yesterday, we were on a walk
Okay.
yesterday, and I told her that I am buying my ticket to London in the next week, so she better be ready. While I'm in London, she's going to go visit my son out in Vancouver, so we're going to time it just right.
So you'll be coming to London, and she'll be going to Vancouver.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So hi guys, hi Domain Explorer, and once again, hello Bill. And good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, depending from where you are. My name is Helmuts Meskonis. I'm the founder of HostMaria.com, and usually on Mondays or Tuesdays we do live streams about domain name business, a business niche that I personally love. I'm a Sunday domainer, but we have awesome guests and professional domainers like Adam Dicker from Canada, who will share their many years of experience of working in this niche. And you are most welcome to ask your questions. I will put them on the screen, and Adam or other domain pros will answer these questions, and it is all for your happiness and prosperity, of course. So Adam, any sales during these 2 weeks?
So I have done some experiments, and I can tell you that there's been some interesting sales, not by me, but there was one by somebody who actually sold an XYZ domain, posers, POSERS .xyz for $23,000. I trust the guy. The guy is real.
I did see that post on your group as well.
Yeah, and he's a truthful guy. So While I didn't have that sale, I have been doing some experimenting with Afternic and Dan and GoDaddy, and I am noticing a trend as far as sales go. I think that it's probably time that I start to park a lot of my domains at Afternic and have them listed through GoDaddy, because Afternic is making the bulk of the sales at the moment.
So
So,
what do you think about that sale, posers? So you know the guy, and so you just trust the guy. Yes, of course.
yeah, I do. I mean, he told me it's funny because he said they originally asked about posers.com, and then he said, I don't have that. I have posers.xyz. And he said, well, okay, that's what we were really looking for. And he sold it, and he is an honest guy. He's been paid for it. So I know he's telling the truth. So there must be some trend that, and he made a nice joke about it, saying that he sold some rubbish, because we used to call them our registered
Yes. Yep.
rubbish.xyz. So
Yep.
power to him. I'm glad he made the sale, and hopefully more people make sales on anything. I mean, just goes to show you, you really don't know what the buyer is thinking and people that have money. So
Adam, where
it's
is your bell?
interesting.
Where is your bell?
It's here. It's
Can
right
we
here.
ring it for the posers.xyz? Congratulations, buddy.
There. So power to him. I mean, there's no way to explain all of this stuff. And,
Absolutely.
but if people have money and he makes a sale, so good for him.
Yes, absolutely. Joe is saying yes. Forex was it? Yeah. Yes.
What's the old saying? One man's rubbish is another man's gold. So there you go.
Okay. So today we have the main portfolio sent in by Shiva, I think is the right name. So Shiva, is it you? I'll put your. So Shiva, is it your portfolio that you have sent in? Yes, I think so. Should be the case. So I will share the link. Adam has not seen this. Adam hasn't seen this portfolio before. I'll give it to everybody first, and then Adam will see it as well.
Yes, I have no idea what's behind the curtain.
Bang! Here it is for you. Here it is for you as well.
Okay.
Stream, and now I will. Now I'll be putting it on the screen.
Okay, so then I'll go back to your screen, but I noticed there's some CAs.
But you can absolutely, Adam, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is interesting. Yeah, I'm going to look at your screen instead of mine, just because I don't have to look at two things.
Let me quickly remove the image. Okay.
Okay.
Bookmarks.
So,
bang. Okay.
Just got to unhighlight everything. I mean, there's definitely some good names I can see in here right away. See, okay, so jointshop.ca is a good name. I'm currently managing 4 portfolios of cannabis domains for people. So, I mean, that's a good name. It's better than obviously my joint shop, although that one's CA and com. I would say joint shop is a good name for sure. Cannabis joint. Joint could be like we call a restaurant could be a joint, or any place could be a joint, but obviously here they mean cannabis joint.
Yes.
6 Weed, HighlandPlus.com, Smoke Shop. So Smock Shop, because Smoke Shop is spelled incorrectly unless you copied it over wrong.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's supposed to be Smoke Shop. Probably is, because it probably would have been available in the CA when you registered it. Joint Shop is good though. Joint Shop is a 5K plus name for sure. It's a brandable. It could be a franchise. It's a good one. Cannabis Joint also a good one, brandable. Cannabis is legal here, so they are very popular.
Oh,
the 2 words go together well.
Yes.
There's literally probably every 2 blocks you go anywhere in the city, there's a cannabis store. They're opening up all over, so they're popular. A smoke shop, I'm going to assume it's probably Smoke Shop. That's a good name too. Smokes Pot, also good. High Life. That's what he's trying to say there. I don't see that as a really good one. HYLYF. That's a dropper.
Okay.
High THC. Again, I don't know. I think you'd be better off with the HIGH than the HY. High Life again. Not crazy about that one, but hey, I do like your joint shop and your cannabis joint. Smoke shop also good. My joint shop, not bad. Cannabis art dot shop. Cannabis cart dot shop. Yeah,
Cannabis
that's a
cart, yes.
yeah. I'm not crazy about that one either. Best two in the CAs and in that pile is joint shop, cannabis joint, smoke shop if it's spelled correctly, and smokes pot. Those are the best of that group.
Okay,
Um,
let me
the
zoom in and just zoom in and go maybe to like this. Yes, now that
Sure. Now I feel
comes.
like you're my eye doctor. Which one's clear, the left or the right? Um, okay, so his comms, casino techs, obviously could be Casino Texas, CCTV agents, closed circuit TV agents. Interesting. Wine fresh wine would be better. Want a notary. Okay, so this one's not bad. You could do this as a brandable and you could sign up notaries, one in each state or something like that. The problem is you usually have to go see a notary to get something notarized.
Okay.
So you could do something with that one. Way Cool Pets, you could sell, disappeared, but Way Cool Pets, you could sell anything from lizards to
Oh,
snakes to
just
whatever you want.
hold there, Adam.
Okay.
Okay. Can you undo, please?
I was going to say it's not
Okay.
me if you're talking to me. Please hold while we have technical difficulties.
Okay. We'll get back in a second. No problem. No
No
problem.
problem.
Absolutely not a problem.
And
I
Steve,
had to
I'm not
hold
going to
this
ask if
once
you're
again.
Canadian. They're good names. Those
I,
CAs.
I will get those. I will get those names back in a second. Don't worry.
No worries. Oh, I
So the
still have my
Canadian, so the
document.
Canadian way, so the Canadian names were fine. Yes.
Yeah, the Canadian names were good names. No question about it. I can also open up the document on my screen. Oh, it's changed overall.
Yes.
It'll come back. What's
Of
even
course.
better is my gardener decided to come mow the lawn by my window now during
Uh,
the episode.
it seems the domains are gone from the main one. So that's it. Shiva, it seems it is you, a bad boy. So
Steve,
Shiva,
check your domain list.
check. Yes.
He says he's in Mississauga, which is about 40 minutes from me, which is
Okay.
nice.
Shiva, please take those domains back. Yes.
He'll repost them, and maybe I can meet him for a coffee someday and go through it in person.
Okay. Now we are waiting for. Where was the
Do you want to go to another
history?
topic for now?
Yes. Okay. Shiva will send us. Will send back. Okay. No
So he's
fiddling with online documents, please.
well, not when they're live.
Yes. So, how are your Canadian? How are your Canadian doing?
So my CAs are good. I did, because it's the end of the month, I will say that yesterday I had to spend a load of money on renewals because I do it probably about every 6 months or so to
Yes.
just make sure I get them all. So yesterday was a big renewal day. The bank account fell by quite a few renewals, but I also get a chance. Every time I do renewals, I'm like everybody else. I filter out which ones I'm going to keep, and I do drop some that I may have thought were good a year ago or 2 years ago, and it's time to release them. Like I say, you cannot get attached emotionally to domains. So if they're not doing well, they have no traffic, they have no offers, and no who is lookups, and nobody's interested, then it's time to let them go. But
So, how many?
did I renew yesterday?
Yes.
Probably about, I think 6,000, 6,000 or something. I knew it was going to
Wow.
be a big renewal day yesterday, so. But it's funny because my wife doesn't even know what domains I have. We're driving, and I tell her that I said, oh, she's talking about something. I go, yeah, I have salads.ca. And she's a vegetarian. She goes, you do? I'm like,
Okay.
yeah. She's like,
Yeah.
she has no idea. And then she told me I have ot.ca, and gambling just became legal here. So she's like, well, what? It's overtime. Why don't you set up a sports book or a casino? And I'm like, you told me when I was buying it, it was for like occasional teachers. Now you want me to do a sports book? So she changes her mind, but she doesn't remember all of them. It's amazing.
And how many domains at the moment you have? Canadian names.
Canadian names.
Yes.
Probably about 15 to 20,000 in that area, and I
And
love
how
them
many
all.
Canadian names are there registered at all?
3.86 million a couple weeks ago, but I think it's at 3.3 or 3.5 now.
So let us say 3.5,
Yep,
3.5 million, and then you have yes, and then you have what was it? Sorry, 5,000?
15 to 20.
15 to 20. Okay. And percentage wise, it would be what?
Not a lot. Not a lot
You would
compared to names.
have every 150th domain. One out of 150 is yours.
Well, it's possible. Now I have to keep up with buying them as much as the regular population buys them, so who knows? We'll
How does
see.
it feel how does it feel? Let's say one out of 200 is yours. How does it feel?
It only feels good if they're good names. Luckily, a lot of them are good names, but some of them are
Yes.
speculation too. So, when I went through the Newells, I noticed I had some hosting names. I had lots of platters, like fruit platters, vegetable platters, cheese trays, things
Yes.
like that. Um, Lots of brandable stuff, lots of single one words like seats.ca,
Yes.
seats, salads, anxiety. And then somebody was on the phone with me and said they just found out they have gout. And I said, well, I have gout.ca. I can maybe sell you that and get rid of the real gout. So you remember as you go. Like I have like bridal consultant, bridal consultant. You just remember all of them. And if you hear something that triggers something, you know if you have it or you don't. It's pretty. Not on the three-letter.ca, so I'm not going to remember any of those unless it's like HST, which is our tax here in Ontario.
Okay. Shiva has sent in the information in a bit different way. Okay,
Okay.
Shiva, no problem. No problem. We'll deal with it as it is. Okay, so I'm sharing then a screen. Bang, bang, bang. Here we go. The information has been sent in like this.
I see it. Oh,
So these
maybe
are
he was just trying to
cannabis.
make it easier to read.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
know.
So and now it is an image. So let us say so cannabis. We
So
have gone
cannabis
through them.
joint, yeah. So joint shop, my cannabis joint and smoke shop, if it's correct, are the better ones on that list. And then
Yes.
if you go down to the next pile,
Okay, and now there would be IOs and .coms.
why is yeah, I'm just check. NFT Center is good. It's spelled the American way. The Canadians
Okay.
spell it RE. Ed Plus, don't know what that is. Education Plus, EIPS, I don't know what that is. And Friendly is not spelled like friendly correctly. So NFT Center is probably the only one that I would say is good in that batch. And then when we look at the comms,
Yes.
oh yeah, I went through these. I mean, the Movie Lounge is a good name for a restaurant or
Yeah.
something like that, if there is such a place. The other ones I think probably are not going to do too well, to be honest with you. Casino Tex, unless you've got a casino in Texas that's interested in buying it. CCTV agents, it's okay. These names are going to be hard to sell.
Okay. So wine fresh would be better if fresh wine
Yeah,
and want a
adjective before
notary. And
the
you started
noun.
saying something about want a
Oh,
notary.
way cool pet. Well, want a notary is good because it's just hard because a notary has to sign something in front of you which to notarize it, so you have to be local. So you have to really set up in every state and every city to be able to do something like that. You can't do online
Yes.
notarization. So stick to businesses where you can do online stuff rather than where you have to go in person.
Okay.
Way Cool Pets is a good name for a pet store if you're selling like snakes and lizards and reptiles and exotic fish and things like that. But the best one here is probably the Movie Lounge because it'd be a great name for a restaurant, a club, anything where, I mean, obviously a movie theater, but still decent.
Okay.
Not
Let
so
us
easy to
see.
sell those.
Let us see the next one. Okay, we would stop sharing this one and I would open the next one. And okay, that is okay. Share. Here we go. Everything goes live. Bang. Okay, so Casinotex was there already. XYZs.
Yeah, so Affiliate Academy. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I'm gonna just look at these like they would be something. FIFA NFTs, be careful. FIFA's obviously a trademark. Affiliate 365. I mean, it's not a bad name. Startup Formula would be good. I'd start with it.
365 bet 365 is one of the largest gambling brands in the world.
Yeah, but I
They are
doubt they're
definitely the
using.
largest ones in the UK, but yes,
I doubt they're using XYZ Z as their domain
yes,
name.
and also at org on
If I remember correctly,
.org.
Bet365 used to be called Bowman's about 8 years ago, and then they bought them. FIFA NFTs, obviously, you can't do anything with that. It's a protected brand. Startup Formula, it's good. I guess if you're gonna get an XYZ, you definitely need a startup formula. So that one may be good. Uh, Catalogo, Catalogo, don't know what that would be. Harnesses could be for, I mean, horses or dogs or anything you want. And then if you know a guy named Mike Rogers who wants that name, great. Probably the best one on this list is Startup Formula.xyz if I had to pick one. And otherwise, maybe Affiliate 365 since a lot of domainers are investing in these things. Who knows?
Okay, and so Mike Roaches.
I mean, I don't know if Mike Rogers would rather have that or the .com. Try to sell it to the guy who owns MikeRogers.com and see if he's interested.
Okay, now we go into the different realm. Adult.
Okay, so Best MILF obviously is a good name. Um, I won't say what it stands for because it's not an adult show. Big Butts.xyz, probably not going to have much use.
Shiva, we start on. You have to be careful what you show us. As with the mainers, we always know what we like.
Well, some people
We
some
register
people
what
like
we
big
like.
butts. Yeah, well, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah, so we know he likes big butts, and he likes
Yeah, off, yes. The best ones, yes.
yeah, strokers could be used as a sex toy store. You're right about that. Amaranth, Twitch and OnlyFans streamer. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but probably probably best MILF is obviously the best one on this one.
Okay,
I mean, people will know exactly, even on big butts, so at least they'll know exactly what they're looking for when they get there if you want targeted traffic.
yes. And then others. And then the last one is Charging Cafe, ca.uk and .in.
Yeah, so Charging Cafe is one of those where I think that Siva needs to understand why he's buying these names and what he's going to do with them and who could potentially buy them. There's only only a cafe would be able to use this domain name either in CA, UK, or IN. So now you're at a charging cafe. So are they charging for food or are they charging for phones? I'm guessing they're charging for phones and iPads and stuff. So I don't know if it's a brand that anybody could sell. It would be a really tough one. You need to have more of a real reason why somebody would want that name moving forward and what they would be thinking about doing with it. They have to be able to name their business that, and people would understand what they're doing. And I'm not sure charging cafe would be more than phone charging without, it doesn't really sell the brand to the restaurant or the cafe.
Okay, that is it. So, what would you say about the domain in broader spectrum?
So if I had to look at the whole portfolio, it's probably better for Siva. I would probably say overall the portfolio is probably worth just under $14,000 to $15,000. Say 15, because I think you could get good money for best MILF. So I think that probably about 15K would be reasonable for him to get for those domain names, and hopefully he hasn't put in more than that, which I don't think he has.
Okay. As Siva says, or Shiva, most of them are from auctions.
Well, hopefully they didn't go for high prices, but I'm sure the adult one, best MILF, you probably paid good money for.
Yes. I would still suggest anybody who's watching, my personal opinion, and I can be wrong here, but XYZ is a mouse trap, or a huge trap, an elephant trap, a domain trap. So be careful once you step into that. I was talking, so I was having a long dinner with a man who owns IT.com, Intis Telecom, and he said that if he had the power, or if he could, he would restrict all XYZ domains on his platforms, as more than 90% of phishing attempts come from XYZ emails and domains. So XYZ stinks, stinks. And as I'm trying to be as honest here as possible. And whoever is watching, I understand that you're seeing sales and something. It does worry me. It does worry me. I would come from the other side. If you do sales, congratulations, you are lucky, absolutely awesome. But if you win a lottery once in your, if you win like Euro Millions, it doesn't mean that you will win it in next 5 or 10 years or 50 years.
So I hope this is not your sponsorship pitch for XYZ.
Sorry, XYZ.
XYZ
Sorry.
stinks.
Well, at the moment, yes, and it is, but it will be the side effect for these will be the consequences. Once you give domains free of charge, your domains in any extension away free of charge, they will be used by spammers and by scammers. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And these will be the consequences, and the whole extension will have a bad name. With all the
Yeah.
respect, but yes.
Yeah, and I don't think you can do anything about it either. I mean, it's just there's lots of extensions that would be primarily my last choice if I had to, and in that case, it's like I don't know, it's like picking the worst of. If you're going down a street and you're looking at 10 different houses and you end up just buying the shack with its rat infested just because it
No,
happens to
you
be
you
there.
don't buy it. You go back to your mom's place.
Yeah, it's probably what and the food's better at your mom's place too.
Oh, it is
So
always the best there.
yeah. So no, I can see your point. I'm not. I think the only one I have is rubbish.xyz, and I don't plan on investing any, even though I've seen how well some people do with them. Like I said, congratulations to them. They found the
Yes.
gold, and I wish them well.
And if I am wrong or we are wrong, then our apologies to the future viewers. Then we were wrong. I
Well,
remember when.
we weren't
Yeah.
wrong on .tel. We weren't wrong on .mobi. We weren't wrong on .us. I mean, there's quite a few that we haven't been wrong on. So we'll see
I
how it
have been
goes.
wrong on .io.
Mm.
When .io came out, if, at that time I had a friend of mine, and he was just a developer, and he said, "Look, some startups are starting or programmers are starting to use .io," and I said, "Come on, they are rubbish." And up to this moment, I'm really really ashamed. And sometimes when we meet online, he reminds me like very very politely, "Do you remember our story or conversation about .ios?"
Yeah,
Yes.
well, that's okay. I mean, a lot of people, you listen, you can't invest in everything all the time. You're going to be late to some of those parties. That's just the way life goes.
Yes. Bill is asking, why the 9% drop in .cas?
So I don't know if there was a 9% drop. I did find something interesting about CA in the last few weeks, and I didn't know this. Actually, something that I didn't know about .ca was currently CIRA does not allow registrars outside of Canada to sell .ca even to Canadians. So I didn't know that.
Registrars outside of Canada. So let us say, so GoDaddy.
No,
Is
but
it registered?
GoDaddy has a company registered in Canada now. So
Oh,
I
so
know
so
because
they have
I help.
registered a company.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But so if you're a registrar who's not in Canada, you're not able to sell CAs even to Canadians, which is interesting.
What do
So
you think about that
I think
decision?
it's not a good practice. I think that they should open it up. If you're Canadian, you should be able to buy them from any registrar you want.
Of course.
That's my own opinion. But going back to I think Bill's question or whoever it was, I think that numbers in registrars go up and down. I seem to remember looking it up on one of the sites that show all the CCLDs that it was at 3.85, but recently I was told that it was about 3.4, 3.5 in that area. So they go up and down like everything. I mean, you can see there's release domains in every extension. So obviously every day you have to sell more than you release and you'll be better off. So But that's the same thing every registrar and every CCTLD will have to deal with.
Tian is asking, Adam, do you have a drink? What have you done?
What,
With all
Tiana,
your,
what do you mean?
with your Canadian domains?
Oh, no.
No.
No, I didn't. I was wondering what she meant, but no, I did not have a drink. I actually did them very late last night, and I came down here. I was putting it off for probably about a week because I knew I had to do it. And then last night, my wife went to bed at like 9:15. She was exhausted, so I just came in and said, "All right, I'll start working and get these done." So I did a whole bunch. So no drinks. You don't want to drink when you're renewing domain names, or you're going to renew a lot of junk. But
So can you describe your whole process? This is really interesting. So you have an evening of, let us say, 7,000 domain names to be renewed.
yep.
Humanly impossible to go through every of each of them, or is it possible?
Well, you can't do 7,000 or 6,000 at a time.
Yes.
You can do probably, I probably do them in batches of a few hundred, which is people are going to find outrageous anyway. I'll do like 400 or 500 at a time, and then I'll go do something else and come back. But I mean, it's basically comparing. Well, see, a lot of the generic ones that I know I'm going to renew, things like those I know for sure I'm going to renew no matter what. Like I don't have to think about things like homework or anxiety or double beds, it's stuff like that that I know is like a 2-word,
Yes.
even a 3-word that means something to somebody. Those are almost instant. It's the ones where I took a chance. Like I looked at what I do last night: blockchain phone numbers, blockchain registrars, stuff like that, where you have to think about it a little bit. And obviously I didn't let those go, but there's a lot of names that you do in the year that has speculation based on trends or things that you think are going to take off, and some of them just don't. So maybe I didn't renew some that I thought were a trend in the last 5 years or 6 years. I kept them up to now. Maybe it's stuff from last year that I thought was going to be better and it just wasn't. So it really depends. But you basically just go through it and you compare your stats. You set up a spreadsheet, you look at your stats, you look at how many people visited, you have to keep track of how many emails, how many price quotes, how many things like that you've gotten, and then you compare it to traffic, and then you just have to make educated guesses and decisions based on 22 years of history of knowing what's going to sell and what won't.
And how long did it take you to go through all the list?
Quite a few hours, but I had already filtered it before that, so I had everything compiled before that, compiled, and then I just went through and just you just move them. I highlight them green or red, and I go through the columns and move them over, and then I'm basically just copying a whole batch, like 500 or 1,000 at a time, and moving them in and renewing them.
Is it easier to highlight them digitally or physically?
Well, digitally, because then at least I can copy and paste what I want to renew
Yes.
into the
Okay.
bulk renewal tool.
Of
Otherwise,
course.
for me, obviously, if I'm looking at a list online, it's easier just because the work to type them all in would be crazy. But that's when I also make decisions about name servers and parking companies and changes and see what. So I see if it had 6 months on Afternic and it had 6 months on Dan or had 6 months on Sato, I can look at the traffic and see if it's not a domain that's seasonal, where should it be, and should it be up or down from wherever. And then you decide where it had the most offers, where it had the most traffic. It's all about removing the bot traffic. I don't care if the numbers are 5,000 visitors. If it hasn't had any offers, it's the same as having 200 visitors to me, because you're only waiting for one offer. So
And percentage-wise, how many did you drop?
probably
I don't know.
not more than 3%, probably. Tiny amount. Just because,
Okay.
listen, they've been filtered year after year. I'm not going to drop salads. I'm not going to drop homework. I mean, I can probably pull up the list, but I know there's certain names that I'm just going to rifle through, and I'm not going to. Even things like gun cabinets or gun cases that we don't have guns here in Canada, but I'm not going to let them go because who knows? Like I've never seen
Americans might be coming.
I've never seen a gun in Canada besides
Yes.
with a police officer.
Yeah.
But then on 60 Minutes the other day, they said there's 11 million AR-15 rifles that citizens own. That's a lot.
Wow.
So, but I mean, there's other things like there was COVID type stuff in there too. Like I think there was towelettes or things that you would use, sprays to clean your hands, and I have to decide if I want to keep these or what, because we're ending now. Like there's a lot of stuff that I may or may not want to keep. So
Okay.
you just have to go through it, same as you would 100. It's the same thing, just much bigger scale.
Much Exactly.
Well,
And the bill is a bit bigger
yeah.
as well.
But I
Tiny
mean, I
bit.
went through originally and I registered grade one tutor, two tutors, grade two, and I did it with the number and then I did it with the word. And then I've got tutor and tutors.com and the singular. And I went through, then I did algebra, I did math, history, English, geography. So I probably had about 300, 400 tutor names. And then some of them sell, some of them don't. And then I have to decide if what I sold over the last couple of years is worth it. You'd be amazed at things like used textbooks, or there's just so many. I can't even remember everything I looked at yesterday. So
Used textbooks.
yeah,
Who is the buyer apart from a
uh,
second-hand shop?
well, there's quite a few stores online that sell now. It's so easy. You can scan the ISBN and you can get in 5 different or 8 different places how much they'll give
Okay.
you for the textbook, and then you just put it in a box, send it off, and with the label that you print out, and they send you the money. It's a huge industry for used textbooks. So, but what am I going to do with it? It's like a lot of other stuff, not much. So, and I've come to the conclusion that none of my kids will be able to manage my domain portfolio. So my wife's right. If not now, when? Because they're just gonna.
Well, you
They're
had a
not.
chance. You had a chance. Take your son, the one who showed some interest into domains, and say, "Hey, buddy, here's a test for you.
Yeah.
You make it, or you
I don't think he's interested in domains. He's just hoping that he'll be able to get some cash out of them.
here is a Mastercard.
Yeah.
Here's a list of 7,000 domains. Go."
No, he's very good with money. I just don't think he's the one who's a teacher, and I don't think he's the sales one. So I may have to leave to have the lawyer manage. He told me he was going to manage my portfolio when I'm dead, and I said, I'm not gone yet. What are you talking about? So now I may have to go to the lawyer and let him deal with it. At least he'll stick to the prices I put on them.
Okay. Let us move on the comments. So Shiva says, or Shiva, so it seems he has invested under 2,000 in total.
Oh, good. So he's fine. So he's in good shape. Now he has to work on selling one of them for at least $3,000-4,000. Then everything else is profit.
Yep.
Good for you, Siva.
Congratulations, yes. Okay.
So I can tell you this. This was a mistake of mine with the .in names. I registered everything in Hindi .in. Like I had whatever insurance is in Hindu, and
Yes.
everything else I had education. I had everything I could think of that was in .com that was great. And then after 3 years of holding them, I just gave up. And I talked to a lot of my friends who were in India and people that have worked with me or worked for me. And I realized that most of the people getting online spoke English anyway. And they were most of them were getting a lot of English domains. And I had all the gods' names in Hindi at one time, all of them. And there were hundreds, I think, or 80 to 100 of them that I had. And it was
Oh, they have
God of
more gods.
money.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I had lots. I learned some words. This is back, though, when I was registering IDNs as well. So
Yes.
that was also a mistake. So don't think you get to be to own millions and millions of dollars worth of domains or sell millions of dollars without making mistakes.
Yes.
I have made plenty in my time. .ins were one of them, and the other one was IDN names that I bought 1,000 of and ended up just getting rid of all of them pretty much.
Yes. Tian, I don't think that .ins have been considered as high phishing domains. There is a list of free domain extensions or free domains, and all these are heavily. GS, I think, was one of them. .org.eu was another one. So there are many domain extensions where you can get those domains free of charge. And these ones are abused. These domain extensions are so toxic. Just well, but okay. Bill says back at 10, and he's back.
That was fast. Now, I did read this comment, and I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Could there be a list of domains that I decide not to renew up for grabs? I don't think it would be too long to compile. I think I can see. The problem is,
Okay.
why wouldn't you
This
guys
is
buy
good.
them when I actually had them? That's the problem. You want them now.
This is good. Yes.
This is a domainer's dilemma. This is, should I drop them if somebody else wants them? But yeah, I could compile a list of names that I let go. I think that'd be fun to do. I think I'll do it for next week because I think that would be fun to see what I didn't renew and why. It may give you some good thought process on my thinking at least. But it's a good question. It's a really good question. Like there used to be a day when top domainers, all their portfolios were DNS'd the same, so you knew you were doing a reverse lookup on, let's say, everything that I owned, and you could see that if I dropped something, or Frank Schilling, or Page, or somebody, you would be able to see what they dropped and snap it up as quick as you could. Because to us it wasn't great, but to somebody else it was like gold because it was better than what was available. And I know there were the same people catching all of my names that I dropped all the time, so I knew that there was a trend.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah, I saw Bill's thing too. It's good. I mean, there's a lot. Like there were a lot of comms that I decided to let go. Like even 3% is at least probably 100 or so. So it's interesting. I'll have to look at the list. Now you've got me thinking, and I'll compile the list.
Adam, have you been thinking what can you put on in the auction, in the domain auction? So those who do not know, in August 22nd, 23rd, I am organizing a domain name meetup. It is called Domain Summit. The website URL is summit with double M, summit.london. So London as an extension. And of course, the place, so the meetup, the networking event will happen in London, the United Kingdom. And again, August 22nd, 23rd, the registration is free. I release 10 free tickets every day for each of the days. So please go there, grab your tickets, and if those are not available, come back next day and take your one or another ticket. Just please be responsible. Take the tickets only for the days you need. And very, very soon we are gonna announce that there will be an auction that every attendee will be able to list one or two domain names for an auction, and that auction will happen at flip.uk. Adam, have you thought of your names you could list there?
I actually haven't thought of it. I do have quite a few that I could list that could be reasonable, that wouldn't be outrageous. So I think there's some. I even have some UK names that I could put up that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I could come up with a list that would mix them up quite well. Yeah, I could come up with a list, and I'd start
Yes.
them at, just to bring in some traffic, I'd start them at a no reserve auction
One,
because I wouldn't care.
one or two domains. One or two domains.
Okay. Do you want
Make it
comms or
make it
UKs?
clean. Make it clean, and comms are good as well.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
You can put up a reserve. You can put up a reserve.
Nah, for these ones, I think I'd rather make it fun and just let them go and see what happens.
Okay. I can say that I might be putting teens.co.uk on there together with .uk. I'm transferring the whole job platform I have on jobs.it.com. So,
Interesting.
oh yes. So I have just everything has been transferred. Now I need to change the text and everything. If you go to jobs.it.com, you would still see teens. It says teens, but I will be wiping everything off and talking about the jobs platform. I think
Yeah,
it
I'm
has
on that
found.
now.
I think it has found its place. Its place.
Good.
Yeah. I'm actively now looking for another employee who will work with this platform solely, and then we'll move it forward. And then once it is up there, hopefully IT.com can use it as well, showing that there are actual physical sites, established sites, and not some WordPress garbage. So sorry, my yes, not some. Although
Okay. That's many people tell me, why don't you tell us what you really think? So that's what I'm thinking right now. Just
yes,
tell
of
us what you
course.
really think.
Yeah. So for basic informational sites, WordPress is good. Once you go professional, you have to consider professional solutions. WordPress is not for job boards, or even though I have a very large classified ad site on WordPress. WordPress is WordPress. It is not for that. It is not intended for heavy or large scale websites. nor e-commerce websites. You can use them e-commerce if you are a sole trader, if you are one-man band, but once you go professional, once you have a team of people, please move into professional e-commerce CMSs.
So that's not exactly a glowing endorsement for the new version WordPress 6.0 that just got released, but that's there. Also, for anybody who uses the link shortening tool by GoDaddy, x.co, they are canceling
Oh,
it. So you may want to check
really?
your links and not use. Yeah, they're ending it.
Oh, I so we even haven't heard of it, and they are canceling it already. That
Yeah,
was a quickie.
it's ending on June 4th. So x.co, if you've been using it for link shortening, it's over in 4 days. So
Uh, did did you hear actually about that URL shortener before this announcement? Have you heard
uh,
of it?
yeah, I think so because they used to use it, I think, for their affiliate links and stuff like that. So I believe I have heard of it, but may have been just because I worked at GoDaddy. I don't know. So I don't know.
Okay, done,
Lots of
done,
domain
done,
sales to
done,
talk
done,
about
done. Yes.
on
Okay.
uh, on
Oh,
um, DN Journal.
fabulous. So three-letter domain names.
Yeah, crazy,
So
crazy good.
could you tell the story, please? Yes. So what is going on? What has been going on? Thank you.
So three letter .coms are in the top 3 sales for the week, and they're all 200, 206, and $300,000. So those are 3 good ones. The letters are decent. One of them is good, what I would consider great, which is GBR. It could be Great Britain.
Yes.
Um, OET, I don't know what that stands for. It's sold for the 300K, while GBR sold for 206, and then YAE, which people probably wouldn't know what that is, still sold for 200K. So there's some good 3-letter sales on there that are selling. And for me, who has bought and sold lots of 3letter.coms for probably around 80, I would have liked to have kept them, I guess, a few years longer because they were really good ones. I sold DCG and DNF. I think I sold them both for 80 each or something like that.
So what do you say? All these good money is not left on the table? All of them?
Maybe GBR could have had money left on the table, but it's still a good sale. I mean, it's Kate Buckley, so Buckley Media, so
So
they're all good sales for
yes,
threeletter.coms.
fabulous sales.
Yeah, and anybody who's spending that kind of over $200,000 knows what they're doing with those domains. They have a plan. So my guess is they are going to be put to good use, and both buyers and sellers will be happy on all 3 of those.
Okay. And that there is interesting. .me.
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad name if you because it could be there's a large vitamin company called Noah, so it could
Okay.
be Noah. I mean, it could be like I don't know. It could be just somebody who's got the name Noah and they want it because it's
But
personal to them.
dot
They
me. That's usually people would usually put up individual sites, wouldn't
yeah,
they?
I would think so, but they spent $35,000 on it, so it's not a bad name. I just to me it doesn't grammatically make sense. Like Noah.me, I don't know. It's a branding play, I guess, but I mean we can check it. I always like to check these as we go, so I'm going to check this and see if
Yes.
this one's live.
I did check YAE. There was nothing there.
So Noah.me, it's sold for 35,000. Now it's for sale for 2.75 million on Dan. So that one seems like an odd one.
No, that's stupid. That's stupid.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a very good plan. GBR doesn't resolve yet.
Okay.
OET.com also doesn't resolve yet. So these guys are
Yes.
probably putting their plans together. YAE doesn't
Did
resolve yet.
did not.
None of the
Yes.
3 resolve.
Yes.
Interesting.
Sports bet. Some rubbish site now. Oh, upgrade your protection. Okay. Whoa.
Well, that just means they're hoping to get traffic out of it. I mean, that's an odd name for sports bet to be a
Here we go.
protection site.
Bang.
So that's threat secured. Oh yeah, they don't
Bang.
like it. Avast doesn't like it,
Congratulations, whoever has bought it. Yes, if they
so they'll
have.
have to fix that. I mean, there's some other stuff on here. Loca.ca for $16,000. It's at least a company. It's a food market coming soon,
Okay.
2023. I mean, that's reasonable. Defy market isn't Defy.market, probably not bad. Um, oh, I mean, I don't see some of these as other ones being great domain names on this
So
list.
homesa.com.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you looking it up? I'm gonna look it up too.
There is nothing there. It is
Mm.
it is still a parking page.
I mean, marathon.de may be good.
Okay.
See what's on that one. Yeah, that one's not good right now. It's just got. If you take a look at it, it's kind of stupid. So
Okay.
nothing
So
there yet.
Adam, there is a domain name aads.com. You have an experience. So was it? Did you sell? At least I have something. Marathon. Okay. So I think was it you who sold 8 or 10,000 four-letter.coms for $25 each, $50 each, 80?
I didn't sell them that cheap, but I did sell. I sold probably
My
about.
memory is
I think it was 400. I guess I had
four.
probably about 2,000 of them at one point,
Yes.
and I
Okay.
sold. I think I sold 400 of them to Ken, who is
Yes.
he's a guy in Las Vegas. Good guy,
And
Ken O'Brien. Actually, now that I remember his name.
okay, I
It's funny. I
remember
haven't
that
talked to him
I
in
did
6 years.
I think I did see him on the main shop after a while, and he was saying that he was selling them with a good profit,
Yeah. Yeah, I sold them to
or maybe
him,
elsewhere. Yeah.
and it was Ken O'Brien out of Las Vegas. Great guy. And I sold them to him back. It's probably about 7, 8 years ago. I'm surprised I remember the last name, but yeah, I sold quite a few. I don't think it was that cheap though.
Okay. So what do you think of aads.com? Twenty
I
five
mean,
thousand.
so the first
Bang.
letter would always be to me like American Automotive something or other. So I don't know what it could be is, and when I look it up, it comes up with AADS Worldwide. So I'm guessing that's probably who bought it.
Yes.
So there's a bunch of AADS companies. Um, so even Avaya or a device services. Avaya is a big phone system. So I mean that one could have possibilities. I just don't know who would have bought it, but that one probably at that price is good because they're doing what actually it's ironic because I'm teaching a course. One of the things I'm doing is I'm doing a course in about a week and a half or 2 weeks, telling people how to find the shorter names that companies want to buy. So, for example, there's about 6 companies have approached me on different domains where they have like the .io or they've got they're looking to start a new business and they want a certain .com, but they think it's unavailable because it's taken or it's because it's on a park page. So one of the things I'm doing in this course next week, or I think it's a week to 10 days, is teaching people how to find those shorter names that are available because they're owned by domainers that companies actually want. I mean, one guy gave me a budget of $50,000 for a name that's taken, but it's a horrible looking site. I can't give it out yet because I haven't secured it. I can tell you
Yes.
privately, and probably it's one of the people on here who came to me looking to see if I could get the name for them. But there's a bunch of those, and that's what I'm teaching next week is how to find all those companies that started out with any name, then they got successful, and now they want their .com, or they became like American Automotive Dental Solution, and now they want AADS or something like that. How to find and get all these companies and how to approach them. That's the course that I'm doing. It's $299 Canadian. I think it's $235 US. And you're going to ask me for the link, so I'll get it after when we're doing promotions.
Uh-huh. Yes.
That's where you get the big money. When companies come to you and they've got like a $20,000 or $50,000 budget, and you can buy it off a domainer for a couple grand or $1,500, that's where the big money is.
Okay. r.gs seems cheap.
Yeah.
It depends if you are a buyer or seller.
I mean, yeah, it really depends on all that stuff. Which one you are.
Loca.ca.
Yeah,
Or
that's the
so.
restaurant one that I mentioned about.
Yes. Okay. And anything on the bottom part?
Let me look, because there's always good stuff on the bottom part.
Yes.
I mean, I'll look at POC.com talking about a 4-letter pronounceable, 6,000.
Yes.
Pleasure Hub, that's interesting. Passwordly, that's a good name for a password remembering tool.
Okay. Passwordly. Yes, that's good. Passwordly is good. Yes.
Insurance Sherpa, that's like obviously domain Sherpa, privacy Sherpa. Anything with Sherpa seems to be attracting good money.
Okay.
If
And
it's an industry.
then there is Soulcard. So Solana, Soulcard.com.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Sunbed seems like a good price. If people are still, I hate to say, stupid enough to go sit and tan by rays.
Sunbed. Wow.
4,800 bucks.
That 4,839.
Yeah.
That is a great price.
Yeah, that's a good
Sunbed.
deal. What else is good on this list? That's all I really see that's interesting. I'm Montessori College is a trademark, so hopefully they have a Montessori school. And then country codes. Yeah, you got that
There is
r.gs.
flex.com.
Yeah, I thought about that for a gym, but it's Flexes, Flexs.
Okay.
So I don't know if it Flexes would be with an ES or an S. Probably ES is the word, but that'd be a good name for a gym, I guess.
Okay.
Probably those bulky guys don't know how to spell anyway, so it'd be fine.
Or we don't know how to spell their acquisition.com.
I don't see a really great list this week besides the ones that are at the top. Those three-letter .coms are cream of the crop this week. I wonder if Avast is going to block all the XYZ domains.
There is legal.us. Legal.us was sold for 2,500.
Is it legal or illegal?
Legal.
I mean, probably it's going to be good for somebody. I just don't see the value.
I've heard that there are some guys who are very good, who are quite successful with clean one-word.uses.
Yeah.
And then there is LE 2-letter .ie.
Yeah, I saw that one.
So
that's
what do you think about that one?
I think that was a really good purchase at $2,000.
AI used for artificial intelligence.
But has it really taken off yet? Or is it an alternative to IO for some of the crypto or other people? Like
this is one of the country CCTLDs that is getting a similar adoption as IO. So IO goes for startups, for programmers, and then AI for artificial intelligence. One of those rare ones who have actually gone somewhere.
But is there enough companies in artificial intelligence that are buying into this? Or do we have to wait till many more of them start to get interested before it really takes off like IO?
The industry is huge. Artificial intelligence and blockchain. Those are two niches who fight for the most programmers, and they are the ones who keep beating the price records. And
well, that's a great 2-letter .ai. I did notice it. It's like at the end of the whole list, but it's good.
Yes.
That's good.
opay.io. What do you think of pay domain names?
Pay is good if you like. Are you saying like that have pay in the front of it?
So opay.io, $2,500.
I don't think much of it. And then pay. I mean, if you're going to do a payment processor, I mean, you may be a little bit late to the game because there's so many of them. I mean, these were big in 2000 and 2004.
Yes.
Right now, I think the processing market is. I've had too many processors close up on me and take money and just leave. So you have to be careful with companies that just open up, but you never know. I'm not a fan of that one.
And then in that bottom list there is Pizzeria. Pizzeria is Pizzeria in German. So Pizzeria
I don't know.
Pizzeria. Yes. Okay. It is called, yeah, in Austria, and Austria. Yeah, it seems a pizzeria. The proper name.
Actually, there's another good one in there. Profit Sharks. That's a real group on Facebook.
Okay.
Profit Sharks. So they probably bought their own name to build up. So they sell courses and stuff like that. So that's why they probably bought
Yes.
that one.
And then there is charm.co.uk.
Yeah.
$3,125. Charm.
Does it mean anything to you? It's a good word.
Charm. Short.
Let me see what it
Not
goes
really a
at
business
all.
name, but
Charm. That'd be a great name for it. I hate to say it, but a great name for an escort service.
yes, as well.
Just checking.
I'm sure there are many, many, many names registered.
Yeah. Also doesn't resolve.
Okay.
So I have a few domains to give the people to register if they're interested.
Okay.
They're not great names, but they're not bad names. And there's one that's at the top of the list with a huge CPC and huge traffic, released today, playted.com. Interesting because it's like TED Talks, but playted.com.
Playted.com. Okay.
Interesting. Cannabis recipe book, very popular, lots of traffic. This one I don't know what you could do, but if you were a painter, I don't know what painter would want this, but less color. LESSCOLOR.
Less color. Interesting.
I don't
yes.
know. Maybe you want natural beauty instead of makeup or less painting. I don't know. Sometimes I tell my wife she's using the teacher voice on me. So they have the coach voice available.com.
Coach voice. Okay,
The coach voice.
Yes.
It's a good brand if you want to be a coach. If you're a decorator, superdecorator.com is available. And then this is a long one, but it's good for the times. Managingremoteemployees.com. It's long, but it's good. It's got all the right keywords. And then you've got marketingcounselors.com. Advertisesales.com. So if you wanted to advertise sales, I guess you could.
Yes.
This one I thought, I made a mistake when I read this one. It's called legalsuicide.com. And I was thinking it would be, yeah, you're thinking the same as me.
Yes.
Oh, no, maybe you're thinking differently. I was thinking like law, like lawyers, like what would be legal suicide? And then I read it again. I thought maybe it's just like legally you can end your life if you have a critical illness or something like that. But originally I was thinking about lawyers. What would be legal suicide for a lawyer or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
For those of you into saving the environment, there's notoiletpapers.com. Yeah, I don't know what you'll use instead. And then here's two that are also long but good. Family Marriage Counselor, Family Marriage Counselors, both available.
Okay, so somebody has actually has been holding them for a long time and then has dropped them both.
Yeah, both of them.
Yes.
Dailychatroom.com could be a brand name for something, I don't know.
Daily chat room, yes.
Now here's one for Joe that I think she's gonna like. Meditationclock.com. If there is such a thing, meditationclock.com.
Yes.
Available. Keto wafers, keto anything with food sells.
Yes.
Cold beds, COLDBEDS. I don't know what that is, but cold beds. Maybe some people like to adjust the temperatures of their bed.
There are technologies that actually help you to adjust the yes.
So that's available.
Temperature, that you can sleep better. Yes.
I wouldn't wish this one on anybody, but oncologyreferral.com is available. It's probably a decent domain name. And then advertise sales again is on my list twice for some reason, so you can ignore it the second time.
Okay.
So cold beds. Oh, Richest Domains said cold beds is good there. So I'll post the list in. This is stuff just from yesterday. I didn't go back a week or anything. So those are the names. I did. This is ridiculous, but I do have dementia clocks. See, I forgot the word dementia. How ironic is that? Dementia clock and dementia clocks I have, and it's a good domain name. It gets a lot of traffic, and I didn't know what it was until I posted it in the art of the name, and then a lot of people said they bought them for their parents, older parents, and things like that. So when I saw meditation,
okay,
they're just the big numbered clocks, and they have very little things on it except the time, which is good, and reminders and pill reminders and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, meditation clock would be, and it's a singular, which is what people are looking for.
if a person has dementia, will he or she remember, even if it says you have to take your medicine? What medicine? Why?
Well,
But
I think
okay,
that the person is gonna, the child or the caregiver may
okay,
set the
yeah,
clock to
yes,
remind them.
okay,
They don't have to do it themselves. So
yes, okay.
it seems like a
Whatever
decent one.
helps. Yes, of course, whatever helps. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of the list.
That is.
I don't know what less color could be, but it's got to be for something. Like I think it could be something. Legal suicide. Somebody's probably going to want to buy that.
Very strange thing.
Yeah, because you don't know. Is it like I'm ill and I've had enough treatments, or is it something to do with law, which would be
Yes.
interesting as well. So anyway, interesting.
Legal system. Yes, it absolutely an attention grabber, at least. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't use it as a brand because you can't kind of poke fun at suicide. That's wrong. So
No, absolutely, and that is negative. There is a it kind of has this negative meaning in it.
yeah, yep. But anyway, those are the names that dropped today at 2:00. They dropped, so those are freshly available, as they say.
All available. Bang.
Yeah. Less color could be a Goss site, I guess. That's interesting. Bill,
Hmm.
you're an older
Oh.
guy. What are you thinking about stuff like that for? You like us? Smart.
Wow, that is
Actually,
smart.
what about even like a black and white painting site or something? It
Yes,
could be.
yes.
Yeah, that's good, Bill. You got us on a good trend. Anyway, that's
It is
available
really,
unless.
really, really good. Yes, I remember
Yeah,
I wanted to do a. I like this. I like photography times by times, and then I was thinking to publish black and white
well,
photos, and then I
that could
did
be it.
bwstreet.com. I had it, I think. BW
It, it could be a
black and
black
white,
and white.
yeah, but
It could
less
be that. It
color.
could be a photo
Beautiful.
site for black
Yeah,
and white, less color, no color, less color. It's
or
good.
yeah, I think golf shopping site would be even better. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
that's
huge
strong.
audience for that.
Yeah, great list. Okay, good in Arizona, cold beds. Okay.
Yeah.
Siva says most of the XYZ buyers are related to the streaming, or well, I would
Could be.
say 99% or XYZ buyers are the mainers.
Siva, have you sold an XYZ yet?
There is that saying: once you go fishing, there are some hooks. Some hooks are made to catch fishermen.
Makes sense.
Some are for fishes, but for fish, and some are for fishermen. Yes. But anyway, yeah, I wish you all the best with your domains. Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. So I will give you that course that I'm doing. I just posted the
Yes.
link.
Oh, absolutely.
This is for
So,
people to be able to find buyers
uh-huh.
and sellers who are looking to find shorter names. They don't know they're available. And I'm going to
Yes.
give them at least 5 in the course. They're willing to pay like 20,000 up if they can secure the name. And I'm working on some of them, but some of them are harder to find the buyers and things like that. So one of them is an IO, one of them is a com that's starting a new company, one of them there's all kinds of them. So they're out there, but there's lots that you can find that don't even know the shorter one is available. And you can negotiate it on their behalf and make a lot of money because they have big budgets.
Yes.
So
Somebody please sell Wave Apps a better domain name.
which domain, which company?
Wave Apps.
Oh, Wave Apps. Yeah, that's the payment processor I've been using for a long time.
Okay.
They're just easy. They're make it simple.
Okay. Don't you use Stripe now?
No,
Stripe
I've been using Wave Apps for a while. I've obviously used Stripe and PayPal and a bunch of other ones. I've used Payoneer. I've used them all over the last 20
Ooh.
some odd years. But like I said, I've had quite
Why
a
did
few
you
close
use
up on me.
Payoneer? Payoneer is for webcam models. Mostly.
No, I wasn't.
It is mostly used by webcam models.
Well,
It
20
is.
years ago, I was a lot skinnier, and I don't know. No, I never used it for that. But I use it because they gave you a card, and you could put your money right to the card and go use it. But
Yes.
I've used all of them. I mean, if you go way back, it was CC Bill and all those other
Oh,
ones
that's
from
an
way
adult one
back.
as well. Oh my
Yeah.
God. You know that industry way too well.
I've lived through all of it.
Ah, yes. Okay. Les Color says back order.
Yeah, it means somebody probably grabbed it from here already. That's all it
Okay.
means.
It is a beautiful one. But would you actually in this one, would you try to secure less color and then COLOUR as well? So color can be
So
spelled in two ways.
it depends if I was running a local business or not. If I was selling black and white photographs through the internet and I was paying them, I'd want both. Color OUR is the Canadian and British way. OR is the American way. So it's really up to you where your clients are targeted. I do that a lot. I mean, the hardest word to spell in any country in any language is counselor, because it means like grief counselor. It means like counselor at a camp, and there's lawyer, also counselor, and
Yes.
there's like 8 different ways to spell counselor. So that's one you want to stay away from. I remember at one point I registered all 8 variations for different types of counselors. So marriage counselor, grief counselor, and all the other ones that were available.
Ah, that is nice. What are your plans for the next month? Have you got some plan that you put up on the calendar? For example, my calendar is, oh my God, I have an event on Saturday, Jubilee event, posh. There will be some royalties. Then I'm going to ICANN to Hague, and then here, there, then to Latvia. And then I know when I need to renew those domains, that domains. How do you organize the upcoming month?
So the only thing I really have to remember this month is that June 12th is my anniversary, and if I forget that, I'm a dead man. 28
So
years.
no live streams. Okay.
What day is that? That's a Sunday anyway, I think.
Sunday. Sunday. Bang.
So that's my anniversary. I told my wife we're going out to dinner on the 12th, and she said, "Why?" I said, "Because it's our anniversary." So this was last. So that's a big day for me on that. The rest of the month, I'm happy I don't have to do any renewals, and then the calendar will fill up as it always does as the month starts out and things like that. But I don't believe I have any trips planned, so I'm happy about that. I can actually just get work done. I do want to build a professional large hosting company, so that'll
Yes.
probably be in the plans for June. And the other thing that I'm doing is I think I have a domain name that I'm going to be using for this course, and I think it's either upgrade to .com or change to .com or something like that for all these
Yes.
people who are trying to secure their shorter name. I've got a few names secured for that as well for this course, so it's going to be interesting.
Adam, my suggestion for hosting company WHMCS. Always.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I will follow your advice. There's no question about it.
How is that possible, Adam? So you have 15,000 domain names.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, this is a good question. I know the answer already before you even ask. So,
almost half of them is renewed in one evening.
well, no.
Where is the logics?
Well, the logic is I have, over the last 22 years, I keep building domains out. Then I decide I don't like it. Then I take it down, and then I go work on another one. And then it
Okay.
may or may not make money, and I leave that one up on a server. And I've got probably about 200 that are up on servers. Some of them make money, like anxiety.ca makes from Google Ads and other stuff. Other ones, they just don't make money, and then I take it down, or I use it for a business. I run the business for a couple of years because I understand how to do something in that industry. Then the industry dies, and I take it down, and you're just constantly building and going. You're never going to build out all of the domains that you have into
The,
businesses. It's
the question
impossible.
is, shouldn't they just spread out over the month? So on one month you would have 5,000 renewables. On another one you would have 850 renewals. Then you would have 1,200. Then you would have again 8,000 renewals, something like that. But shouldn't these renewals be spread out over the different months?
They
How does it
are.
come that everything comes in one evening, like
Oh,
half of?
they don't. They don't. What happens is I decide to go in at the end of May and renew everything up
Okay.
until the end of December, the end of November.
Oh, I see.
They're not coming due. They're absolutely not all coming due at May 31st, and I have to panic and register them. I register them way in advance, so I don't have to think about it for quite a few months.
Does it mean you have sold something?
No, it just means that if I don't renew them, I'm going to lose them. That's what it means.
Okay.
Sometimes it means I've sold something and maybe there's an influx of cash and I want to renew
Yeah.
everything for a
Yeah.
year or
Absolutely. Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
can happen too. But most times it's just that I know things are going to expire in the next 3 to 6 months and I have to do it. No choice.
Okay. Thank you. And mobile phone numbers UK. Why do the main marketplaces use robots? What
So you're
kind of
saying,
robots?
I think they're saying the Google bots and stuff like that. Bots, not robots. Why do they let bots go to? Why don't they block all the bots? Well, two reasons. One, it probably inflates the traffic numbers, so domainers have hope, and some of them may actually block the robots. I don't know, or the bot files. So you think that?
I've been talking to Colin quite a lot, and
Mhm.
he says that he is trying his best to block the bad traffic. He actually doesn't want to see any bots, as that's a huge traffic that puts
Yeah,
huge tension on your servers. It
bandwidth.
consumes lots of bandwidth, lots of resources, and you want to block those bots as soon as possible. Maybe some other marketplaces are like that, but if I can answer for the flip.uk, what I have heard, maybe that information is has changed over the last 2 weeks. But yes, they are trying to.
Well, also you can't assume just because a marketplace or a company is big that they know how to fix all these things and block everything, because it has to do with firewall and firewall rules and IPs, and a lot of companies, big companies, you'd be surprised, don't have huge technical knowledge. I've been with a couple where I'm working with them on consulting, and they have no idea how to even move a site to their AWS platform to an EC2. So you'd be amazed; they'd never be able to stop bot traffic no matter what they do.
Here's the main thing. If the question is about a robot's text file, then most websites should have a robot's text file, and it so this is a normal requirement for a website to have a robot's text file. It would contain quite a lot of important information for search engines and other scrapers and bots that walk around the internet. And then there is a question: why do these marketplaces use this or that line in their robot's text file? If that was the question.
Well,
Yes.
also a lot of them use your
Oh,
robot's text file
why,
to
why do
block
they
certain
use
URLs.
bots? Okay,
Yeah.
why do they use bots?
Uh, no, he was talking about bots. He
Yes.
means
Okay.
why do
Yeah.
domain. So we got it right. It's bots.
Okay.
So they may not know how to block all the traffic, or don't care. Maybe some of them like the stats inflated.
Once you have a million of domain names, then you would have to start saving your. That kind of bandwidth is can get really expensive.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm
Okay.
sure.
So that was the last question. Oh, 1 hour 20 minutes already in. Bang.
It always goes fast.
Flies. Flies like Shweta's XYZ cells.
I
Okay.
didn't say anything, Shveta. Whatever it is, I didn't say anything. So
That's me.
This time.
This time, maybe next one. Okay. Anyway, all the best with your XYZ sales, and yes, when you dream, sleep well. Adam, maybe something for the
For
goodbye.
what? Oh, just take the course. I think you guys are going to really get something out of it. I think it's $235 US. It's you'll be able to find companies and be able to go after them and find bulk companies that actually need link shortening. We're going to find all the companies, let's say, that start with Willow or whatever we want, and there'll be 100 or 200 or 500 of them, and there'll only be one Willow or Sweet Willow or whatever it is that we're going to try to shorten them to. So There will be a lot of money in trying to shorten names and get companies the right names that would actually give them better branding. That's what we're doing.
Okay. And thank you for watching. And over here, we expressed our personal opinions. If Shweta or somebody wants to sue me for XYZ, here I am. But just me as a person for my opinion. Then I will explain it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And of course, please register your free tickets and come and do meet other domainers. Finding, like, helping a professional domainer to go through with a sale of, let us say, 50,000 domain name or 100,000 domain name will give you 10-15% revenue, and that is a huge amount for any and for every domainer who is just starting this path. So please, the tickets are just, it is for yourself. The August 22nd, 23rd in London. The URL, the main website is summit.london. Go find the links, register there, come and meet us, meet me, meet Adam, and many other great domainers. Thank you all for watching, and thank you, Adam, again. This was
Thank you.
really awesome. And Adam, once again, I've said it many, many times before, and I have learned personally from you. And thank you for all these years, from the first time when I heard that you were using the bell. You see that the story carries on, and
Yep.
I have learned so much from you. And your knowledge, you sharing your knowledge, has saved me lots and lots of money. Thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be able to do that, to honestly to help people.
Good night, all, and all the best.